Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who got cut off in his last video. Some fucking app thing popped up or whatever. So I'm here to recap Terrence Mckinney and the last four fights. All right, let's start with Terrence Mckinney beating Brandon Marotte. He hit him with a knee and TKO'd him instantly. Terrence Mckinney now is the third fighter, I think they said, that has two finishes in under 20 seconds. And he's probably going to get more. I mean, this guy is just danger personified. A round one tornado. And I thought he would have been taking the fight to the ground and trying to go the rear naked choke route, which is Terrence McKinney's other way of winning. But instead, it never got to step B because it was finished on step A with one knee. The guy is just so fucking dangerous. One thing got through the guard and it sent his opponent on his ass. And look, Brandon Marotte, credit to him, he took the fight under a lot of shitty circumstances. And yeah, there is an asterisk next to this loss for him. But yeah, Terrence McKinney was just too much. I think Terrence probably would have won the fight anyway if he didn't steamroll him with power. But there's always a chance that can happen when you're fighting Terrence McKinney. I mean, Matt Frivola, who is an excellent fighter, and fighting Benoit Saint-Denis next month because he's got a lot of momentum right now. But McKinney knocked him out in 7 seconds. You know, the guy is just a fucking problem in round one for just about anybody. Aside from the guys who beat him in round one, Ishmael Bonfim. But Terrence McKinney's got a lot of, negative traits as a fighter, but his positive traits are going to be there for him in every fight, or they could be anyway, because he's a round one killer, and every fight starts on the feet. You got to get through this guy in one way or another, and he's a wrestler, first and foremost, Terrence McKinney. So it's not just like, oh, take him down, you put him on his back, you'll make him uncomfortable. Not a lot of fighters have that option. They have to survive and take him out down the stretch, where cardio or sometimes just the chin is the issue for Terrence. But offensively, yeah, he's got enough to take out anybody and gets a 20-second victory here. Great win for Terrence McKinney. And for Brandon Marotte, this sucks. It was a shitty way to take a fight. A lot of, forgivable circumstances here, but not the way you want to make your debut. Kind of like that guy Butler, Jesse Butler, I think his name is, that fought Jim Miller. I think Jim knocked him out in like 20 seconds as well. But credit to him for taking the fight. Wasn't supposed to go his way anyway, but yeah, can't avoid saying that it went the worst possible way. And it did. So he'll be back. I'm sure he'll be given another shot, and it'll be against a much more reasonable opponent. That brings me to Melissa Dixon beating Irina Alekseeva. I thought this was a great performance from Melissa Dixon. She got knocked down too, which I thought made the performance even greater. Alekseeva, Russian Ronda, proved to be dangerous, as she always is. She's a dangerous fighter, but she wasn't able to close the show, and Melissa Dixon took over. Even after that knockdown in round one, Melissa Dixon was taken over, and when she got on top of Irina Alekseeva, it wasn't just a case of winning the wrestling battle. The jiu-jitsu went along with it. She advanced position and came really close to getting a finish. She just wasn't able to flatten her out. She's not good, not that heavy on top, where she's got that dominant, she does have a dominant ground game, but not to the point where she could have held down Irina Alekseeva. Irina Alekseeva was good at squirming and scrambling and always making Melissa Dixon move, turning over, never letting herself get flattened out. And she made her work, but Melissa Dixon, despite not being able to close the show with her mount and her back mount, she was able to retain it for, I don't know, a long fucking time throughout the whole fight, really, but especially down the stretch and in round 3 and in round 2 and whatever. But she looked great. She looked great, Melissa Dixon. My estimation of her as a fighter has gone up. Yeah, she was knocked down and she was stunned in some other fight that I saw and whatever, but she's 5-0 as a pro. Got some losses out of the way as an amateur. Never finished, by the way. And here she looked really, really good against a girl that looked really, really good in her last fight, her debut with a knee bar over Stephanie Egger. So Melissa Dixon an emphatic debut, for a decision anyway. I'm impressed with her skill set. And for Irina Alekseeva, she certainly looked limited. She definitely had some good survivability in her there, good scrambling, like I said, and her danger wasn't there for her on the ground anyway. I thought once it hit the ground, she was controlled and again advanced on pretty quickly. But on the feet, she showed that wildness. She's got some Vanderlei Silva in her, and she actually knocked her down, I think, with a straight right, which is not exactly the Vanderlei Silva punch, but she's dangerous and showed that danger and also durable. Very durable, I'd say, surviving this mauling from Melissa Dixon. So some positives, but technically, yeah, my estimation of her as a fighter didn't exactly skyrocket here. So great win for Melissa Dixon. That brings me to Chris Gutierrez versus Heidi Alateng. Chris Gutierrez dominated this fight pretty much, and he did so comfortably. I mean, just mixing everything up, feints like they were saying, and leg kicks, as you might imagine. That was the story of that fight. I thought Heidi Alateng I thought Adrian Yanez would crowd Jonathan Martinez in a similar matchup with his boxing, because I just thought it was that much sharper. But Heidi Alateng, I never really gave him much of a shot here, or not too big of a shot, because he is not the most imposing striker, not the fastest guy, and he is not the most diverse striker either. He's, limited power puncher, and Chris Gutierrez just had way too much for him. He was way too sophisticated, had Heidi Alateng beaten on that, first level of feints and movement, and while he was caught like a deer in the headlights, Chris Gutierrez was lighting him up, lighting his legs up as well. And I thought Chris looked really, really good here. Solid victory, comfortable, nothing emphatic, no real big moments throughout this fight. But for Chris Gutierrez, it was a great way for him to get back on the horse, because he had his first loss in a while against Pedro Munoz. And, here he bounces back. Shitty circumstances for Heidi Alateng. Credit to him for taking the fight. But, this fight, I think that's how it always was going to go, short notice or not. That brings me to Emily Ducote versus Ashley Yoder, and pretty much my thoughts are the same. Emily Ducote, I think, was always going to win this fight exactly like this. Not that any fighter took this one on short notice or anything, but Ducote just has a better work rate than Ashley Yoder, and she's faster and much more comfortable with striking, to be honest. Ashley Yoder, I compared this matchup to Montana De La Rosa versus J.J. Aldrich, and I picked Montana to win that fight. And then, of course, after watching that fight, I said, I think I'm going to go with Ducote next week, because I thought Ducote had some similar strengths to J.J. Aldrich, especially in this matchup here, and she won a similar type of battle. Much sharper hands, more power, and I don't know the volume or whatever, but she was definitely throwing and landing much better strikes. Ashley Yoder's tough as all fuck, but she's limited athletically. She's big and strong and whatever, but lean, and she's not dominant, not a dominant force in any one area of MMA. Wrestling, grappling, or striking. She's good everywhere, but not great anywhere. Probably best on the ground, but on the feet, she's outgunned by a lot of good fighters, and Ducote was one of them. Emily Ducote won pretty damn comfortably, and she bounces back after some tough losses to Angela Hill and Luby Godinez. Hill beat both of these girls, actually, Yoder and Ducote. She actually beat Yoder twice. But anyway, I'm clearly running out of steam, so I'm going to wrap this up. It was a very good night of fights. Very good night, and the main event was excellent. Barboza stealing the show, turning back time, and or the clocks, as I said, like it's daylight savings. And really enjoyed this whole event from beginning to end. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.